We are live. We need to acknowledge you need to look to the side. So show me what your AirPod looks like. Why does it look? How do I have the ability to make mine still stick out? Oh, I think that's it. That I think I look like you, do I?
Yeah. Does it fit? Is it gonna fall out
Dating.
mid?
That's a different Substack live. Deek, that's on
Oh my gosh!
OnlyFans.
I gotta tell you this. This week, I have some friends. I would call them. They're either the jokers to the left or what is it to the right? Is it clowns?
Yep.
Yeah. My friends have started sending me messages and then editing them.
I'm barely listening to you because I can't believe that I got this done. I look like because I do interviews now for jobs, and the always markedly younger gentlemen show up like this, like it's all sticking in the ear, like mine falling out. So the whole time I'm like this, and yeah,
Yeah, my
okay,
friends are sending me edited messages, and then I click on them.
because they watched it.
Yes, and then I click on it, and they'll change one little thing in like two paragraphs, and I so now I'm
Oh,
like,
it's like
no,
hidden pictures or whatever. Now you have to find it.
yes, but you know what's so crazy is you told me that last week about that, and
Yeah,
it's true on the phone, but sometimes I text from my computer,
is it
and
true on there?
it hadn't even dawned on me. I mean, I have an iMac that if you're in the thread and somebody edits, it just shows you automatically the two.
I didn't know that.
And I guess I've just never paid attention to it because, you know, maybe they're so
Every
close
time.
in body.
So it shows you, okay, I gotta look. And every time you say iMac, we don't even care anymore that this is dating later live. It's just later live. When you say iMac, I think of those big, do you remember those? The big, like humped up ones, like they were different colors. It was like maybe 1990.
Yeah, I think this one's maybe 5 years old. It's a color,
Oh,
but
it
it's not,
is?
they're not humped up anymore. They're real thin.
But when you call it an iMac, it feels like it's from the Wayback Machine.
No,
But
they
that's
still
the
make
thing.
them. Yeah, it's the all
I
in one.
didn't
It's
know
like,
that.
there's pros and cons to it, but yeah, they make them in
It's
all the
all in
colors.
one. What does that mean?
Yeah, well, it's got the camera built in, and then everything's in this little bitty flat screen.
But that's
Like,
like, isn't that every computer now?
well, no, it doesn't have like a tower.
I will tell you, when we first started doing these, nobody cares. There's nobody listening, and they've already logged off if they've thought about it. I went on ChatGPT. I'm doing dating later lives with Deek. He keeps talking about an iMac. What is that? I asked ChatGPT because I was like, I had no idea what you were talking about.
Yeah, it looks just like a little flat screen TV, but the whole computer is in the little flat screen thing. It's
Every
like
time you say
a
that.
big version of an iPad.
But isn't that a laptop?
No, oh, like here, look.
Oh.
Here's my keyboard.
Oh, there's no keyboard attached.
Here's a mouse.
Oh.
Apple did not nail it with this mouse. Did not nail it. This is cool.
He said, I'm gonna have to Google this. Okay, we have lost everybody because it is now. I don't even know how many minutes we're in because I cannot stop looking at the fact. I think this is
Well,
improperly.
before we move, we got to. Do you remember? You said humpback. Do you remember the original Apple computers? And they were like the
I
big
I do
humpback.
because that's what I took to college, and I had a dot matrix printer, which I could never figure out, and I had to invite all the women on my hall to hold the paper up because we had to hold it as it went through because I could never get it threaded.
The This is so good that this is later or dating later live, because if you said dot matrix to the kids, they were like, what on earth are you
I
talking about?
so we had to hold it. Although at 57 on Saturday, I still can't get my printer
Happy
going. I mean, it's
birthday.
been sitting there for 8 years, maybe 9.
I did say not long ago to somebody uh, that I'd gotten this fax, and there was just like this glazed over look.
Okay, if we were recording, we could start all over again. But this is like I mean, it is being recorded, but it's gone out into the world. And now I'm like panicking. Do we begin again? I'm going to jump in with what I want to talk about because I've been thinking about this a lot because you've already been dragged into it. So, this is not going to be funny. It has been so funny to me all day long. However, it's the mismatch of dating. Like, I have women I work with, friends, myself, who think, do I have a bad picker or I don't know exactly what he's saying, that. And so once upon a time, 2020, because I was chief marketing officer for my job, I turned on Facebook dating and I've never been able to figure out how to turn it off, which I think is part of the thing. And so this is not funny. I think it was probably Saturday on my birthday, I got a message and I was like, what is this? And I went in and it was a man who had, whatever, we had matched. And I guess you can just send messages. And he said, I might need a CMO, chief marketing officer. That had been my role. I might need a CMO more than a GF. So I might need a chief marketing officer more than a girlfriend. And it struck me because of the conversations we've been having and the coaching and thinking about dating all the time that there it is. Like 10 years ago, I might have rushed past that sentence and I don't remember what he said next and gotten distracted and thought, oh, this could be my person. This is very exciting. He's so handsome, whatever it is. But now, 9 years into this Michigas craziness, I'm like, oh, you're saying it right there. You're not interested in dating. You're looking for a chief marketing officer. And of course, I leapt on that. I was like, I might be looking for a job. And we started talking about that. But here's my question for you. Do you think, because we talk about pickers, do you think sometimes we just don't hear or read what's right in front of us? Like someone's telling us exactly what they want and are looking for.
Yeah, I heard this saying one time that's really stuck with me, and it's basically that you don't listen, and you never have, you won't, you're not ever going to. And so it seems true because I've noticed that sometimes when I ask people a question and they answer something completely different.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm curious. Like when you say that this guy, would you have previously interpreted that CMO to GF as a like, oh, he's just picking
Being
something out?
funny.
Yeah.
Yes. And I mean, hearing you say that, maybe shit. No, I'm kidding. Maybe I was just saying that. But I think I would have. I'm a big believer in relationships, especially more truth is said in jest. Like, I'm sure you've been out with those friends who are a couple and they're not really nice to each other. Now I feel like this is falling out, but I'm just going to go with it. They're not that nice to each other and it's not funny. Like, they pretend they're joking.
Oh yeah. That's always fun. It's always like
I know it's
so
so.
relaxing.
I mean, I have people I know like that, and I introduced a new friend, and we walked away from them. She was like, "Wow," because truth and jest. And I think 9 years ago, I would have ignored the sentence. And the more I talked to this guy, super interesting, the marketing job, he wasn't really kidding at all, even though I think he thought he was kidding as well. People hand us the information when we listen, even if it's as simple as, I don't know what I'm looking for, or people give us the information. Sometimes Shakespeare, I think, said a rose is just a rose, and it's right there, and we get all tripped up trying to overanalyze.
Yeah, I think you're pointing to something really, really rich because obviously that one's outside the norm. The hey, I might need a
Yes.
CMO versus a GF. Whereas there's some things like, hey, what are you looking for on here? That's probably,
What do you think about that question?
I think that's, I don't know. And I go back and forth on this. It
Same.
could mean something like, you know, just trying to gauge where you're at. Like maybe
Yes.
in a positive way, are you looking for something long term? But it could also just be code for, hey, you want to hook up?
I didn't know that. Naive. So I did not. That's what I heard recently. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. I
And I think you're
I,
right.
I think maybe something that's there for me right now is that the apps are kind of, on one hand, they're good because you can meet people you wouldn't normally be exposed to.
Right.
On another hand, you have a little bit of information about this person, and sometimes you may say no when that could have been somebody
Yeah.
that was interesting, but they picked all the trite,
Prompts and
sayings and the trite
yeah.
pictures, and um, yeah, like, is it, so there's that benefit, but then even the initial interaction, you're meeting somebody cold in
Yeah.
text, essentially. So I find that it could be really hard to start conversations. That
And that's the thing about Facebook dating, since I fell down that rabbit hole, which is interesting because the next snippet was, oh my gosh, how do you know my friend, Betty Sue? That they show you. So there's that common ground. I don't really know anyone who uses Facebook dating, but it's an interesting concept because it shows you who you know together.
Mhm.
So at least that's some commonality.
Yeah, and I mean, I think along those lines, that's one of those. If it's somebody that you really know well in common, then and
Yeah.
you're interested, you might be able to help that filter. Like, hey, you know me, and you know this person. What do you like?
Oh, yeah.
Is this
Yes.
somebody?
Yes.
Is this somebody? Because then they can be like, I would never tell my friend to date you.
Or you can figure out who they are because if you share one person in common and then you could probably search by the first names. It's that
Yes.
meme everywhere. Yeah, it's the meme everywhere that if you're dating at later in life, you can find anything out more quickly than the FBI. Like I immediately knew this person's last name and what the company was, all of it.
Yeah, it's easier to do due diligence, which I think that is in many aspects. If you're using it for good purposes, I think that's
Yes.
especially for women. Coming from my background, I think that's
What
really
is your
good.
background? Because I don't think you ever said that.
You know, uh,
Used to be able
it's
to Google people fast.
yeah, it was super fast, and so I always think towards safety,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
you're meeting somebody strange. So I love it when my friends, especially who are female, say, "Hey, yeah, I matched with this guy, and I ran him through this thing, and I did these things," and I'm like,
Yes.
"Okay, great." Even over time, I've had some say, "Hey, I'm going on." They say it jokingly, but hey, I'm going here with this guy, and here's all I know about him
Yeah.
in case I disappear. That's usually said jokingly. I think if you have any inkling about that might be the truth, maybe don't go.
It's so hard. And what you've said make me think so many things. First, the kind of flat, sometimes profile picture trite back in the DAY. And I do not recommend this. And I kind of very highly recommend it. Although I think the apps are dying, so it may not be helpful. But I used to set the same radius. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'm not because I'm helping the world. I set the same radius on every app, like maybe it was Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. It's all the same people always. And you could come up with a much more complete sense of who they are. Like there are people that I matched with on an app and then did not go out with them after what I seeing what they put on other apps. It
Yeah,
sounds bananas, but being a woman, it was really helpful. Like, yeah, you didn't say any of that over here. So that sounds crazy, but was really helpful. And then what you're saying, because I think you're spot on with the what are you looking for? I had no clue. Also, when people would ask me that years ago, I thought, can't we just let this unfold? And at this point in my life, I think, no, we kind of do. If we're a total mismatch, like with the I'm looking for a chief marketing officer, and had I been looking for love, it would have been a mismatch. If we're a mismatch, then you know right away, like I'm looking to get married and the other person's only separated, not even divorced. Like, what are you looking for?
yeah, I like that. And I like to frame it as, well, I'm very careful how I spend my time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a large degree you can say, hey, look, this, I can just tell this is not going to be a match. It's just not something worth. But then, are you willing to spend it on somebody that's kind of in that gray area, in the middle ground between
Yeah.
a yes and a no. What do we do with the maybes?
And that's, the phrase of if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. Like that's not that way for me with jobs, with going out, whatever it is, because there's a lot of hell maybes. I'm not quite sure.
I love
Yeah, I
it.
mean, I think that all the time because you're right, the gray area. Yeah,
Yeah, I do think you can end up getting so locked into that hell yes or a no that
that's it.
you throw the baby out with the bathwater. You throw
Yeah.
what may be other opportunities because the CMO to GF
Yep.
guy could have just been that could have just been some cute little line or some manipulation to get
Yes.
you
Yes.
there. So I'm
Yes.
curious, was it like there was actually the job?
I
Like,
mean, this is what this man was focused on. And I think the quickly I put that together and I responded like, hey, same. Like, that's what I'm looking for. But yes, and I wonder, all I kept thinking was, have you ever seen the movie? I'm sure you have not. Gwyneth Paltrow Sliding Doors, where it's the doors. It's so terrible. I tried to rewatch it, but it's you make one small choice and it changed your whole life. And so immediately I was like, oh, that's interesting. Tell me about the work you do, why you're looking for somebody. But in the other one, I ignore that. I go straight to something in his profile and I'm consistently disappointed because I'm thinking, why is he not that interested in dating? He doesn't seem into this when he gave it to me in the first sentence. And I think that happens so often. So often people tell us when we listen exactly what they're looking for.
yes, and I think that's a key thing. A key. I hate that phrase when you see it on the apps. Communication is key. Ah! um, that I do think, and you know I've talked about this over time. I've threatened to create a course on how to have some level of interpretation around what the apps are. I had that as a
Yeah.
professional background in reading profiles and kind of sifting through the
Yes.
information.
Yeah.
And it's do I don't know. There's I can probably do with a higher degree of probability. Like nope, nope.
Yep.
Because I think
Yes.
back to my point, what I think people will do is tell you in 5 or 6 pictures and 500 characters a really good snapshot of who they are or what they deal with. And when I say what they deal with, maybe what they haven't healed or haven't.
Yes.
Uh,
I think that all
yeah,
the time. Like they do not even realize they're sharing that.
yeah. Like I'll give you an example. I see a lot the word loyalty, which I think it's great. Who doesn't want loyalty? I'm not sure what it is, to be honest with you. In the human system, I think
Yes.
it's a nice idea, probably an expectation with a fancier term
Yeah.
on top of it. But if I see loyalty once, that's kind of a like, I don't know. It's not an automatic throw out with the
I'm with
bathwater.
you. Yep.
But if you see it in like the 2 or 3 prompts, maybe the body of it, loyalty is
Yep.
a second time, or trust or honesty, then I start thinking towards this is somebody who has dealt with people that, for
Yep.
whatever reason, occur
Yep.
to them as dishonest, not loyal, those kind of things. And those are nice things to have. Like for me, I think as we were talking last week, a core value for me is candor,
Yep.
but it's not to the point that like somebody who says to you, I want somebody honest, and they say that 2 or 3 times in a profile, then
Even once, I think that's a core
yes,
value. It should be
once
yes.
I'm like, I don't know,
Yeah.
because that for me that person either deals with not being honest, or
Yes.
they have attracted in over time people who are not
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
And if that's the thing for them, do I want to spend my time with somebody who is constantly evaluating me for whether I'm honest or not?
Yep.
Because they're going to find the most obscure one time you know, you said you were turning left and you kind of almost turned left, but you didn't, like,
And maybe that's it. We need to bring you in because I do think that I know people have asked me about this. how do I read the profile? Because it's all there. It's not always as obvious as I might need a CMO more than a GF, but
Yeah.
it kind of is. Like it's exactly what you say. Or another one I know for women, I don't know about men, is when men say, my kids come first. And it's like, yeah, okay, that should just be the given, the core value, family. So it's always all there. It's not as hit you over the head with it as the announcement at the beginning about the job because the universe, but so often it's there. And maybe that's it, like doing a workshop webinar, because you do have skills in reading the pictures.
Yeah, it's even that one that you just said, the my kids come first. Like to me, that's
That's a
like the
lot.
understood you. Like, I mean,
That's it. Yes.
why? So why are we saying that in your 500 characters? Why are you saying that?
That's it too. Because if you only have the choice of a few and you chose this, it's really big to you.
Yes, it's really big, and there occurs to me right there, like, this person is somebody who's dealt with people that don't think that your kids come first. So that's kind of, if that
Yep.
keeps showing up for you, what's really going on. And then also, I do not love the word boundaries. I think they're great, and I don't necessarily love it, but it's almost like a boundary as a cop out. Like maybe
Yes.
if you
Yeah.
get too close into me, then I'm going to say, "Hey, my kids come first. I got to do this."
Yes. Yes.
I'll say it like
Yes.
this: it's just a place to look, like to be. But for me, if it's like if there's that, often I find that kind of declaration bundled with other declarations that are like what similar in tone at least. And so then,
It yes, and I mean, I don't have a good call to action for this week, but I just keep coming back to so often it's right there in front of us and we choose not to see it. And whether it's out, I mean, everywhere, friendship, family, work, but really paying attention to what people are saying because so often they tell us everything we need to know.
yeah, maybe the call to action is to just examine what the communication is,
Yeah.
like that you're getting. Like for example, I got a communication this week from somebody who's new to me, new in my orbit, and there's this communication that was like, dang, you got me tied up into this thing, and these emojis that might suggest like the little red face with the
Oh,
cuss
why
word
do I
thing.
not like that one? Okay, keep going.
And so it was all this stuff, and like I don't know this person, and I didn't, for me, I just didn't have any reaction, like really, even though there's all this stuff about something I had
Yes.
done.
Yeah.
All I took from that was, oh, there's a story behind this. And then there were a couple
Yeah.
follow-up texts in short order that were like, that said, hey, I'm saying this is your fault, but I'm saying that in a really good way because this thing's working out really
Oh,
well,
okay.
So um so it's that, like if you examine the, like that communication was in left field from every
Yep.
communication,
Yep. Yeah.
and then instead of me getting worked up around it, it's like, okay, hey, what's really being said here?
Yes. I mean, that's totally it. And it happens everywhere. And so often we don't want to see it. And I was so grateful with this. I was like, I hear what you are telling me. And I'm going to follow that lead because that's interesting to me. But yes, taking the week and just listening. What are people saying and where might I want to hear something different? You're so beautiful.
Yes.
I will die without you. Versus, I might be interested in your marketing skills.
Yes. And for the kids out there, don't lead with, oh my God, you're so beautiful.
Yeah. And also, I made it. So I'm going to try to keep this up and we will see you in a week. And I love the idea of doing we'd have to get people to join us live, but we would tease it out there. Talking about I don't know what you want to share about your life, what you do, but talking about how to kind of make some good choices around the profile pictures and content.
Yeah, that would be great.
It'd be fun.
I think too
Okay.
we could give perspective from what the girls are saying, what the guys are saying.
Yes, because it's remarkably different and remarkably the same.
Yeah, because I've wondered what I'm doing with my life because I don't have any pictures of me with a fish. So
No, and I didn't know women did the same thing. I had no idea. I thought it
they
was only
do.
men. So that will be, yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank
perfect.
you. I don't know how to
Yeah.
end this, but one more. I'm going to
Hey,
turn this
you
off.
made it. You made it all the way
I
through.
know. I'm putting this on my resume.
It
It'll
was
be on LinkedIn by the morning.
it's good being with you.
Bye. I'll see you in a week.
Bye.